that would change a world. From there I started writing a lot of, and parents don't usually address you. Biggest university in India. I am a writer, poet. Hello, I'm Akanksha. I would say that I am a writer, poet, and philosophical thinker. I would say that, but really that doesn't matter anymore. So I just wrote a book that is called Letters from Fall. It consists of many poetries that I have written throughout the journey of my writing. So when I was little, I was told that literature is something that you need to go into deep roots and then you have to learn about it. आप कैसे भी जाके literature को नहीं समझ सकते. It has its own meaning. It has its own theory. It has its own technical words. And with poetry, I first read a poem from Robert Frost and I was very heartened by it, because how could you write about winter and still connect it with feelings? So when I first wrote it, my teacher told me to write a summary about it, and I wrote a summary, and it wasn't connected to the poem, but it was something that my teacher told me that it hits people. So I feel like I could do something in my literature and poetry section. Back then, when I was a child, I didn't have much exposure about literature and poetry, and my teachers told me about how you should always read books, because many times people will leave you, but books will never leave you. This is how the life is, and how important your book is to you. Also, my one of my English teacher told me that I am someone who would read poetry and would connect to it, and then let people think about how I connected it, and let them think about how it connects to them. So something that literally evoked my literature personality and my poetries, and from there I started writing a lot of the poems and poetries. One of the things that I like the most about in literature is you don't get to have the reality, which is sometimes we all crawl back towards our childhood, or maybe something that really hurt us. The reality does hurt people, and if you talk about literature and poetry, it doesn't have to be the lightning stroke of reality in your fictional characters, in your fictional stories. And for that, I'm very thankful about literature and poetries. Also, I wanted to do something like being a writer or being a poet, but time really doesn't go with your timings, and so I wanted to become something that would change a world. From that, I wanted to do something in political science, and parents don't usually address you or encourage you to go into the art field or go into political science field. They would always want a secure life for you, secure journey, secure job for you. And so when I chose that I want to do something in arts, my parents were like, if you really want to do it, I would always encourage you. So having a parent who would always understand you is very important, because when you want to do something that would literally change the world, you have to have that backbone so that you can go forward and just participate in the world. And for that, I'm very thankful for my parents and my teacher and my guardians, everyone. When I started having my knowledge in arts, I also grew up very fond of political science, because political is very connected to the society. You have to have your own uh, theories about your life, or maybe anything else you want to do. If you want to do something in science or technology, it really participates in the building of the society. But if we talk about political science, it's something that would build up the society in a form of way that you want the society to be. Being in a most democratic country, you have to know about the political science and how the law works, how the democracy works. And for that, I was very into work in political science, and I got in Banaras Hindu University, which is one of the most biggest university in India. So I feel like when I got in, I wanted to do something in political science so that I could change the world. Because when you hear politics, you always think about how the rulers or the governors govern the country. And it's not just about that, it's about how you use your voice for the people who are voiceless, and you participate in political science as that, and you create your own theories and you create your own world for that. Later, when I was in my bachelor's, I also came to the view or concept of journalism, which is how media affects the country and how media affects the society. And one of the major impact that had it on me was I could do something in political journalism. So I switched my career from political science to mass communication so that I could participate more in the media, and I could let people know how I can change or we all can change the society with our concept and our theories. And so it will be our story for the people who really want to do good in society with learning more concepts. And that's how I want to conclude about my journey from political science to mass communication. Well, I was founding the theories of world and how it all came together. I also found myself, like you could say that in the light of society, I also find myself in the mirror of the world. And this is my book, which is called Letters from Fall, and I will be talking about it in the next video on Vicious Talks. Thank you.